All right. Good morning, Ugo.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, is there anything specific, I guess, that you can point to that has flipped things in the proper direction under Coach Rizzi? Whether it's something he changed, whether it's something he said, or some kind of aura he brings. Is there anything, I guess, specific that you can point to?
I mean, there wouldn't be anything in particular, but I feel like all the things like the aura, the energy, getting people ready to go on Sunday, having the motto, one show at a time, not thinking it too ahead of ourselves, and just staying in the moment, not making the moment bigger than what it is.
Had that been something that I guess, had you guys been getting a little bit too far ahead? And I guess,
Yeah, I feel like in the past we would just get a little too ahead of ourselves, especially with our roster, we feel like, oh, we deserve the world, but it's not gonna be like that. You always just gotta take it one level at a one step at a time, one day at a time, one game at a time.
Hey, Ugo, you set a career high last week, tackles for loss, tied your career high in each of the last 2 weeks with total tackles as well. Just kind of a two-parter for you. What does it mean to you to be doing that at this point? And how does it feel to like be in the position to have that opportunity right now?
First and foremost, this opportunity is big for me. I always tell myself when I joined the team that, being on the P squad, I tell myself if I get the opportunity, I'm gonna make the most of it. And when I get the opportunity, I'm gonna play this game demanding respect, with the respect among myself, amongst peers, when I get the opportunity, I'm gonna make sure that people fear me and people know what I bring to the table and know that all right, when Zero's out there, he's going out there to make some plays. And all these numbers, I don't even think about this stuff when I'm playing. I'm just out there just trying to make a play, trying to get around to the ball, do everything that I can. I'm just hungry out there.
yeah, Ugo, how much does it mean, I guess, that the team's kind of repositioned itself? I know you guys aren't necessarily looking at the standings right now, but kind of repositioned yourselves to kind of be in position to actually get some of the goals that you were seeking, even after a long losing streak.
Yeah, even though with our long lose streak, we lost 7 straight, but we also can win 7 straight games. It was also early in the season, and it always matters at what point in time you lose. Now we're slowly, chipping away at getting wins. So just taking it 1 week at a time has just been huge for us. Like Rizzy's just been making that a big point of emphasis because when you get too ahead of yourself, you start losing track of the little things that matter.
Ugo, how would you sort of um, highlight or quantify the changes that Joe Woods has brought to the defense? I know the scheme hasn't changed overall, but Darren Rizzi and Joe Woods have talked about little tweaks. What's kind of been the impact of those tweaks?
Well, the impact for us is like all about is doing our technique. Like that's the biggest thing, especially with Coach Wood, especially on the DB back end. And once we execute our technique, nobody can beat us. And it doesn't matter what Coach Wood calls on defense because he knows he has the talent to do it. I feel like anybody who will be a coordinator for us be like, oh, okay, I call anything that's going to work because we have the talent to do it. All the thing that comes down is just the DBs just working our technique, tackling, and making plays when they come our way.
What have you made of the way that Rizzy has kind of emphasized to finish these games, and do you think that's helped you all?
Wait, say that again?
What have you kind of made on the emphasis lately to finish games, and do you think it's helped you by talking about it more?
Oh yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Finding a way to win. That's been the biggest thing, this past week, he used something, a leveler, when you finish the job, he used it to make sure it's even. If there's any little, little unevenness, it will show you. Having that leveler out there for us was like big, a good like visual evidence of like, all right, this is what it looks like when you win a game. It's gonna be leveled out. You secured it, like it was a nice, good job and everything was even.
So, did he actually bring a level to practice? Level to practice? Like what? How did that kind of?
Oh no, he brought it to the team meeting room and he showed us like you guys know what this is? This is level. This is what you do when when your job's done, when you did it the right way.
And like that actually has like an impact on the guys. Like it's a message that resonates.
Yeah, it's a visual evidence. Like I've seen it before too. When people mount TVs at my house, like they pull that out, all right, make sure everything's even, and like some stuff like that. You never know what gets your guys going or get visual evidence for your guys to know what it really means or what message you're trying to get across. And like I feel like that was a very clear message. Like, all right, when you get the job done, everything's gonna look level, it's gonna look even, and that's when you know you did your job.
Thanks.
Okay, what was it like going up against Jameis yesterday, and talk a little bit about how you contained the running game as well?
Jameis is a very familiar face in this building, going against him in practice all the time. It's always good to always go against somebody you're very familiar with, even if they may go to a different place. They still carry the same traits, whether it's players or coaches, and stopping the run is a big emphasis for us, because when you stop the run, it really limits a quarterback to open up their pass game because nobody's going to bite for the run now. Everybody's going to just be playing for the pass, and I feel like that's for any quarterback. And us stopping the run was huge, because they have some good running backs that can all run the football. They all can, affect the game if you allow them to. And I feel like we silenced that. We made them pass the ball, which is what we want to do because we have a lot of talent in the back end to go get the ball.
Ugo, the one thing that sort of continues to be a nagging issue for the defense is those explosive plays. What's been the talking point around that, and how do you think you guys can clean that up down the stretch?
Down the stretch, all we got to do is just clean up our technique. That's all that's going to come down to, and make those open field tackles. I mean, they're hard tackles to make, but we're just going to find a way to just get it down. But the most important thing is playing our technique, and that's the only way you put the fire out on those type of plays.
Ugo, you've got some experience, a lot of experience playing in the NFC West, so you've seen some of these hyper creative kind of wide zone offenses. I don't know if you're able to, but in terms of what you saw from this offense yesterday, what kind of challenges do you think that it presented, and how do you think it did in terms of executing a game plan?
You talking about what the Browns did to us?
No, sorry, what the Saints offense, what your offense did, because I know you got a lot of experience watching those wide zone offenses.
Yeah.
If you've had an opportunity to kind of look at what the offense did yesterday, what's your take on it?
I feel like our offense is still doing a good job, especially with the play action. That's the big bread and butter, with this tree, the play action, straight zones, especially with Alvin Kamara running the ball. He's so effective. He's effective in the game with the straight zones. And when you do a fake straight zone with him and, do a boot, I mean, it opens everything up. And I feel like DC's been doing a really good job at that. And if it's not open, he runs with the ball, and I feel like the play yesterday, I think it was fourth down when he kept the ball. I mean, nobody saw that one coming, so I feel like those type of schemes, like you could do so much and play with defenders' eyes to where you could trap them and, and make big plays for yourself.